Hey, welcome to this video, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I'm just going to do a little freestyle here. I'm going to see what comes through. Messages, I'm feeling some light language, of course. Um, so I invite you to close your eyes, get nice and centered, sit nice and tall. If this is available for you, feet on the ground, tall spine. Some healing frequencies are definitely going to come through. Again, guys, the light language that comes through is meant to be felt rather than interpreted on a linear level. And anytime I'm in these moments of silence, just getting into your body, settling into your breath, allowing the breath to move in through you, and perhaps inviting in your highest self, asking that this be for your highest and greatest good. I've set this intention now, as I said it now, for this to be for the highest and greatest good of all. In alignment with love light, the highest vibrations of love light. Toe nakianas ish enak uat ak enak eras ish ek ianak ua. Tea ea ak ana ek ea ak ua. Toe seshat ak uat ukushtinak eanak et ask ish eak ana ua a ana. Oak enek ea ua zishi ak an ak ea ua ana aya a ai uana. I'm going to say whatever is coming through right now from my highest self. And when I use the words we, it's spirit, highest self, source energy, whatever you resonate with, my highest self. And so these frequencies that are coming through in waves, I'm being referenced to outside of not just what I'm offering and sharing, but in waves around the earth, through the cosmos, from the sun, and from all of your helpers, are being felt on such a galactic cellular level, but also on a linear level. And there are many aspects that are being shown of ourself. And guys, it's not necessarily, some of us might balk at that and say we are not that way. But we are being shown a crisis, so to speak, so that we can offer our services of love and light to all beings ready to accept who they truly are. For the shadow elements that people think that they are or perceive that they are connected to may no longer hold the frequency that they were holding before. So this is the message. Our shift that is taking place, as above, so below, is seen on a physical, social, economic level, political, all aspects are shaking up, if you will. And we are being invited to see things from a non-linear perspective, another perspective. We are being invited to come from a place of compassion and forgiveness, which is not always the way of the will, the way of the ego, the way of the masses. And so we are being invited not to get caught up in the wave of the masses, get caught up in the perceptions that we are not part of, that we are not playing in. For they are merely perceptions. I see them reaching out like tentacles, trying to pull us in. We are being invited to see things as a higher collective, as a higher consciousness and not fall back into the pit of despair. Play on words. Being reminded that these are going to be used for my blog as well, which is writing. And so when you see the words, so I'm going to remind you, you can always listen to this closed caption as well. And sometimes that changes the perspective when you see it in writing. The writing is on the wall, so to speak. We feel it, do we not? As these star seeds, as the bringers of light, as the collective of the rising sun. Because that's a play on words too. Rising sun, solar children, as well as Christed frequencies in alignment with a patterning, if you will, in alignment with a vibrational match. And so we offer these words of oneness, of community, of communing with the spirit of our true source, energy, energizing our light bodies. Reflecting back to the chaos theory, I'm seeing light being reflected back. So things are coming at us, but we're standing in our power, our light. I'm getting reference to the movie Harry Potter, when he's being attacked by the, what are they called? Dementors. So when Harry Potter gets, he is the light, and they fall because the light shines so brightly. And that is reference to the Christed energies, or you can think of Christed energies. It's more of a frequency or dimensional reference versus, or an avatar reference versus the human reference. The linear. So the Dementors if you haven't seen the movie, I don't know what number it is. You can look it up. And so these shadow aspects of all of us are coming out of the woodwork, and they truly are wishing to feed off of the light, and because they feel disconnected or not connected to source, they've lost their connection, and so they feel that they have to feed off of all of our light energy, and that is a closed chain system, and we are plugging into an open chain system where our energy is never depleted, or I'm seeing a dying star. That is incorrect, for they are creating or have created a pattern of a dying star, essentially. And so they have to find another star to feed off of. But as long as we stay connected to who we truly are, speaking our truth, staying in the heart, operating from our highest, most benevolent, most, I'm seeing, okay, so I'm having reference to, I have the book somewhere, Carlos Castaneda, impeccability, integrity, standing in our integrity and impeccability. And that is our saving grace. It is the light that is never ending, and it shines in the dark. I'm also having reference to like Lord of the Rings. So lots of movies that are describing our true nature. And as we open to our true nature, and as we allow our frequencies to connect with our true source of energy, So some healing energy is coming through right now. Connecting with our true establishment, our foundation, our cornerstone, of love. There is no shadow that is strong enough to survive in a pool like water, ocean of light. I'm also having reference to play on words there, pool, pulling, a pull of light. So that light pulls apart the dark. And it screams, I'm seeing it screaming in frequencies, in harmonics, in terror, in suppression, in surprise. For it is not, and I say it just kind of encompassing all of the dark aspects, which again, this is a 4D perspective because we are all one. We are all aspects of the divine. Dark has just forgotten that, so much so that they have disconnected themselves and now feed off of a close-ended circuit of energy that is dying out, losing its frequency. And so they're looking to find new ways to get in to our light. But if we come from a place of compassion and forgiveness and acceptance and integrity, they can't feed off of that because it doesn't match the vibration, right? Terror, fear, loud, anger, jealousy, resentment, discord is what they feed off of. And so I'm being guided to share, even in this time of disentanglement, and even in this time of truth, right? Many things are being revealed. Be aware of our reactions to those, because it can also further feed those energies. So while some things are being dismantled, be aware that we still feed into another net that captures our reactions from this dismantlement. And so the more we can see from a place of forgiveness for all, as hard as it might be, I see that as us coming up against a brick wall and just being completely shocked at what things are being revealed. And coming from a place of gratitude for the light shining on this dark, bringing it to the surface. And rather than coming from a place of intense anger, fear, and judgment, acknowledging that we're having those feelings. So we're not being guided to ignore those feelings or pretend like nothing's going on or not react, but moving forward, integrate those emotions, recognize that those feelings are being felt of disgust, of anger, but sit with it. And I'm going to share this. Thank you, Lynn. I worked with Lynn the other day, so thank you, in a session. And she was reminding me that some people don't know how to sit with it and let those feelings come up. And so what we can do is recognize I'm in anger, I'm in resentment, I'm in bitterness, whatever those feelings are. And you can sit with it. What does that mean? So it means feet on the ground, breathing, admitting it, and realizing and recognizing it, rather than reacting in anger, lashing out, posting stuff on Facebook, Twitter, whatever, Instagram, whatever that modality is. Because what I see as I'm sharing this message, I shared this the other day, is all of these nets, energy nets that are set up to catch this energy. so that it can be siphoned and fed back into the monster. I say that with love, if that's possible. Feeding the machine is what I'm being guided to say. So it's all smoke and mirrors. And yes, it's great that this is, so be recognized. Okay, so let me back up. Being with that. So Matt Kahn talks about it a lot too. Whatever comes up, love that. And then this comes up, love that. So how can I be in a place of love when all of these terrible things are being revealed? So it's a matter of, you don't have to ignore it and say, oh, I love and light, if you don't feel it. Be honest. That is also integrity, guys. Being shared that integrity is being your truth. If your truth is anger, sit with it though. Don't spread it. Don't go into a state of rage and yell at your spouse, friend, family member who may not see from your perspective or may not be in the same frequency at that now moment. Go within, connect with source, replug, recharge back in. Because what happens when we're in this place of reaction is, on a physical level, it's very discordant. I'm hearing your cortisol raises, your heart goes up, your physical symptoms, and it cuts off even more your feeling of being able to connect with love, gratitude, and appreciation, of course, because in that moment it's anger. Cortisol goes up and it causes everything in the body to react. Reaction. Now, I'm being guided to remind us all what that word is. We are redoing something. So when you react to something, you are playing out a role, a character that you are feeding into, and you are recycling it. So when people lash out in anger, frustration, rage, it is my little guard dog. It is a reenactment of some old energy that you're replaying. So we are being invited to really stand strong in our integrity and ask ourselves, are we using our power to its fullest from love, to its fullest and highest, greatest good, and most, I'm being guided to talk about timelines. So there are many timelines happening all around us. The old timelines and the old patterns are playing out so that we are able to let go of those and step into a new dimension and a new timeline more regularly rather than oscillating from 3D to 5D to 4D to 3D to 5D to 4D. Those 3D timelines are playing out. And I did a video yesterday, Old Energy Dies Hard, because that's what it's like. It's this old energy fighting, and the light is pulling it apart, but it's going to try to stick back together and recoagulate in other sectors, if you will. And those sectors are going to be pulling on our emotions, creating another catch-all to create a different net and create a smoke and mirrors so that we're distracted from what we're really here to do. That's the biggest message. And so we're being invited to not feed into these nets of energy contraction. I'm feeling like, and we're being invited to not feed into the fear tank. The fear tank. So I have several visions when I say that, and this is a play on words. The fear tank is obviously a holding tank, and I see it circulating this fear. And then what it does is, it's like, picture a water system, like our system where we drink our water from. And I picture fear being fed into that tank, and then it's siphoned out to the masses in different ways. That's just a visual for you guys to picture. The other play on words is a tank, and it's just plowing through and blowing stuff up, creating fires and just attacking, even though we don't see it. So don't feed into the weapon of fear. Don't feed into the feeding the masses of fear, because that is old energy trying to replenish itself from a closed circuit. And you can look this up. You science folks will know what I'm talking about with closed circuit energy. I had to look it up. A lot of these words that come through in some of these messages, I don't always know on a linear level what they mean. So go within, find your integrity, speak your truth from love. Do not react. Take 5 counts in, breathe in for 5 and out for 5 times. Breath is very powerful in letting go of some of those energies or integrating some of those energies and allowing them. Sometimes just breathing in for 5 and breathing out for 5 will calm that anger, will calm that fear, will calm whatever it is that's going on and allow you to come from a place of clarity rather than, again, I'm being referenced to smoke and mirrors. I talked about in my video the other day, yesterday or day before. No, it's today. I'm putting these in different increments so I don't overwhelm everybody. I talked about in my video, Old Energy Dies Hard, us scuba diving, all the soot is coming up from the bottom of the silt is coming up from the bottom of the ocean while we're scuba diving and we can't see. So again, we're being guided. We have oxygen, use it as a tool. We have our heart, don't panic. We are scuba divers in this soup of chaos right now. And we are to remain calm and be the light to light up our bodies, our higher timelines. So we have these higher timelines, meaning you're going along great. I've talked about this in other videos, but you're going along great. And all of a sudden, all this chaos happens and you react to it. Whatever the chaos may be, from whatever sector it may be coming from, family, friends, television, politics, religion, whatever. And that lights up in a certain way, fire, anger, whatever. And you react. And then let's say something happens and you get into a fender bender, or you get into an argument with a colleague or a friend, or you get sick because your energy lowered. I'm using these as basic examples. What that does is you might have been on one timeline, which would have taken you to the next place where you needed to go, but now you've dropped down into this lower frequency timeline, and now you're down here and you can't see, right, what's up here. Whereas before, if you stayed in that frequency and just allowed everything else to kind of happen around you, right, you would have had that conversation with someone that would have led you to where you're supposed to go next. Or you would have been open to the synchronicities that were going on around you to show you what's really going on. So our senses are opening up and we're seeing through the veil. But those other energies also are aware of that, and so they're overstimulating our senses with EMF frequencies, of course, as well, but with media, events, crazy things going on, and we want truth and disclosure, but then when we get it, it can overstimulate our nervous system. And when that happens, we feed back into fear. And I'm using this as above, out there, so below, within. So I'm being guided to share that timeline then shifts. And then you go back into this circuitry system that feeds back into this other timeline. So, and I'm being guided to just kind of briefly say the mandala effect. So I'm not going to go into that. That may be another video. I did respond to someone on one of my comments on the mandala effect, a really lengthy response. And I'm sorry, I don't remember the username on that question, which was a great question, by the way. But yeah, so our timelines that we feed back into then affect our choices that we have in front of us or that we perceive that we have in front of us. So again, guys, a lot of this is about perception. And as we open up our senses and plug into what really is going on, we go sometimes into overstimulation, overload, right? Sensory overload. But the more we can come from here and the more we can just see it from a witness and not get sucked into it and just take a step back and go, whoa, I see what's going on. I don't like what's going on, but I'm not going to feed into all the drama, right? What does drama mean? It's a play. It is a reenactment. So I'm going to end on this. This was mostly a message because apparently there's a lot of stuff going on, or many different timelines I want to share that I'm being guided to say that are working themselves out. And it may not seem like that in that now moment, but keep in mind these truths that are being revealed and unveiled, they've already happened. They're old timelines, they're old energy that cannot exist in these higher frequencies. Therefore, they must play out and they must end. And so it's actually a good thing, even though it's dark in a lot of ways, or seemingly dark. And so they're playing out, and we're allowing them to do that with as much grace as we can, as we're able to, because of where we're at in our frequency. So thank you so much for tuning in. I will do another video on this. I'm feeling a lot of messages come through about this, because we all need to pull together in these now moments. And so thank you, in love and light. Namaste. Thank you.